La 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 la. Hi, hey everyone, it's me, Flipper's Paragraph, back with another review. So, how are y'all? Hope you guys are doing great. I've been doing fine. We got a good review for today, hopefully. So, I recently watched a movie, and I feel like talking about it. I saw a film called The Rabbi's Cat from 2011, and I enjoyed it, for the most part. There's a few problems with it, but for the most part, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. So, for a bit of the story, this film is set in Algeria in the 1920s, and it's about a cat which belongs to a rabbi, and the cat one day eats the family parrot and learns to speak, and then he expresses his intent on becoming Jewish. So the film delves a lot into topics of religion, faith, theism, other words that mean religion. It talks about Judaism, it talks about Islam, it talks about a little bit about Christianity, specifically Catholicism, but the film centers around this sort of cultural point of Algeria being the center of religion in the world in the 1920s. And the film follows the rabbi and his cat as one day they are opening bookcases from Russia, and they find a young man, a young Catholic Russian boy who was locked up in the crate like this and was sent to Algeria to escape the Soviet Union. And with him, they go across Africa to Ethiopia, where they hope to find this sort of promised land. And that's the entire film. There's a lot of good things about this movie. I'll start right off the bat with saying that. The Rabbi's Cat is a wonderfully, wonderfully charming film. It's infectious. It is full of personality. It is so enjoyable to watch. The style is so heartwarming and enriching. It is a delight. Honestly, it's a delight. There's no other way to put it, how heartwarming and how easygoing this movie is. While it talks about some very, very dark things, and they show some pretty dark things. There's 2 murders that happen in the movie, but even then, the film is just the cat is so likable. All the characters are extraordinarily likable, and the story itself, while the second half is not nearly as enjoyable as the first half is wonderful. It's really, really enjoyable to see the cat talking to the rabbi and wanting to convert to Judaism. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the story, before they find the Russian boy, what is happening is the rabbi's cat wants to convert to Judaism and he wants to have a bar mitzvah. So that whole sequence of him wanting to have his bar mitzvah is so enjoyable, and it's so enriching to watch it, honestly. It's delightful, it's witty, it's sardonic a little bit, but it's mostly just happy and go-lucky and an interesting exploration of faith. Firstly, the positives. Besides the movie being as delightful as it is to watch, the style of the film and the animation style is also so wonderful. There's so many colors, and it's such a unique style. It feels like a children's book, and that's a good thing. And there's a character, the rabbi's daughter, who is so well designed. She's like a masterclass in character design, in my opinion. And I wish we had gotten more of her in the movie. She completely disappears in the second half of the film, but she's wonderful. All of the voice acting is really incredible. But the biggest faults are in the second half of the story, where they go to Africa. They go deep into Africa, deep into Ethiopia to try to find this promised land. And while the animation stays amazing, the voice acting stays amazing, the dialogue is cute and comedic. It's just that the story starts to falter and starts to really, really trickle out. Like, you can feel the movie ending about halfway through, and it's not like a clean slope down to the ending. It's more like a drop off and then a plane. You feel the ending and then it's just okay, because we're just waiting for it to end. And the ending is so unsatisfying. There's nothing redeeming or satisfying about the ending, which really surprised me because the movie was doing so well, and then at the end they just shit the bed. And they leave nothing up to the imagination. They leave nothing up to interpretation. They're just like, okay, and now the cat is going back home. There's the question of like whether or not they'll survive the trip back. But besides that, there's nothing really. And I wish we had spent more time in Algeria, because that was the interesting setting. If the whole movie was in Algeria, I wouldn't have minded that. In fact, I think I would have preferred that. I like the road trip aspect, but they really, really shit the bed with the ending. And as soon as the road trip starts, you can feel the movie start to end. But besides that, the characters were so likable. They were all so likable. The style was infectious, like I said. And there's only so many ways that I can really say this without repeating myself too much. But the biggest problem with the film is just the script, which is... With 90% of films, that's what it comes down to, because the technical aspects of most films are competent. They don't have to be anything extraordinary for the movie to work. I take a movie like The Man from Earth. There's an example of a film where the technical aspects suck, but the script is so good that it makes up for it. Because 90% of a movie, in my opinion, is the script. And the script is going to be the problem with most movies, so just a heads up for the future of this channel. The animation is great. The voice acting, great. The dialogue, fantastic. The story for the first half, wonderful. Enriching, delighting, happy. This movie made me feel really happy. That's one thing I'll give it from now until the day I die, is that this movie made me feel really, really happy. So that's an absolute plus. I think this is going to be one of my shorter reviews, but I'm going to give this movie a 75%. I would recommend it to families. I would recommend it to kids, at least a bit mature kids. I recommend it to just about anyone. But I would tell them maybe turn it off 15 minutes before it ends. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe to the Patreon, subscribe to the channel, like and comment. What should I review next? Let me know. And yeah, I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.